how do we overcome the fear of failure? First, we have to accept the fact that when we lay it out on the line, that we might fail, we might lose. Now, I personally don't believe that when you lose, you fail. I believe you fail if A, you don't learn anything, B, you keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again. So we have to teach people to accept that when you compete in anything, it could be swimming, it can be life, there's a possibility you might lose, and in that temporary period of time. So overcoming fear of failure, we have to accept the fact that if we lose, it's not a failure. We're not a failure. Attaching the ego to the competition is a very, very dangerous, slippery slope. We have to instead remove our ego from winning or losing and go, okay, what can I gain from this experience? When we look at what we gain rather than what we lose, we're more likely to enjoy the experience and compete at a higher level. So fear of failure is very common in junior athletics, and when you learn to overcome that, you perform at a higher level. And how we overcome that is by accepting the fact that we might lose. We're not a failure if we lose. We're a failure if we keep repeating the same mistake over and over again because we haven't learned. Okay? It takes courage to be good, people say. Or a lot of courage to be great. So you got to go for it. You go for, how can I every day get better? How can I gain knowledge? How can I experiment? How can I improve? What can I learn from people? What can I gain from this tournament? Rather than being afraid of what happens if I fail? What happens if I lose first at this tournament? What happens if I don't make the cut in golf after it? When we're fixating on what might happen when we fail, we're not going to perform at a high level, and we're not going to enjoy it. We're going to be playing, you can't play sports with two hands around your throat, and that's what you're going to do. So you overcome fear of failure twofold, by looking at what you can gain from the experience and learning to focus on the task at hand. Going for it, not being worried about the consequences or the results, but focusing on the execution and the process. And that's really fun because you get immersed in the activity. You get in the flow, you're in the moment. All these terms they apply to the same thing. And it is, wow, this is a blast. I love competition. A lot of people say after they get out of collegiate athletics and they go and they play open tournaments or they play with their friends, that they play at a higher level, 2, 3, 4, 10 times a higher level than they did when they were high school players or they were collegiate athletes, because they're not focusing on the pressure. They're not focusing on the fear of failure. They're focusing on the fun of the competition. Competition is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun. You're challenging yourself. You're challenging those around you. And that's how you grow. That's part of life. That you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But what can you gain from it? Mentally, physically, do you become stronger? Do you become tougher? Do you learn how to deal with adversity? There are a lot of lessons that you can gain so that they can help you and help others impact society, impact people around the world, and in a positive way. So we got to focus on what can we gain, and that helps us overcome fear of failure. And the second component is focus on the task at hand, the execution, and not be worried about the consequences, the results, because failure is just another opportunity to, just like success, to reevaluate and go, okay, what do I need to do next to achieve the results that I'm looking for on a consistent basis. Thank you.